Get started. Welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Yours truly, Pastor Kevin here. And of course, as you can tell, we are being blessed with the presence of Reverend Nancy Weber. And of course, she is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Just got word today that there are not one, not two, but three radio stations that are going to be grabbing a hold of this conversation and airing it on their platform. So you might want to get a little bit excited about that too, Nancy, I tell you. But do me the kind favor, if you don't mind. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Nancy Weber?
Thank you. I am a nurse by training, uh, love mysteries my whole life, and curious, and love psychology, psychiatry, was concerned with how things happen. And the greatest mystery of all, of course, is the one of our Creator. Uh, we'll never know everything. And I got that. And so I thought, why not focus wherever I can on the mysteries of life, where I can make a difference? And when I left nursing, it was to assist people in what I learned. I worked in the South Bronx in an acute psych unit, and I loved it. I had a great time, and it helped me synthesize the gifts that God has given me. Like all of us have gifts, it is mine to do in a maybe an odd way in service, somewhat, uh, as a byproduct of that work, and as helping other people along my road, as a sometimes a medium, most of the time as a medical intuitive, and just spiritual counseling, which I love to do. I got involved in 1980 with crime work. I was asked to help out in a local case, and immediately I had impressions, gave it to them, and off we were running for 40 years. I've worked with federal agencies, international agencies, local agencies. What I chose to do in the book is tell you some cases that are already long adjudicated for safety purposes for everybody involved. And through that, what do we do as people? How do we make a difference in everybody's life? Even if, as I have been disabled, paralyzed at times, and it's in the book why, uh, I was a crime victim more than once. And so maybe that's why I go there. And I sit back and realize I was able to help people while lying in a bed, paralyzed, as long as my mind and mouth was running.
Wow.
So the book is for everybody. I hope to make a difference and help confirm that everybody makes a difference.
Speaking of the book, why don't you break down and share with our viewers and listeners around the world a little bit about the publication that you have allowed to be disseminated for the people?
Sure. One of them uh, was in the early 1980s. President Jimmy Carter signed a bill stopping parental abductions being a minor misdemeanor, where if a member adopted it, oh well. And I was on a radio show where somebody heard me and called me, and it was the grandmother of three missing children who were parentally abducted. That went on for 14 months, and the details are in that chapter. What I discovered and what the sheriff's department discovered is that if you have no leads at all, and you have no clue, and you have no evidence, you think you know the father abducted the three children, but you know nothing else. It's like magic, it appears. It isn't magic. So I try and explain what happened and how I knew that they were in California, and that it took me hours, I mean, maybe 4 hours that one night to pick up that they were on East Street, I think it was, and I couldn't tell you the name of the town in California. And it was my dog, Ramona, who solved two cases, not one, who was asleep on my foot. And in the middle of it, and the sheriff's investigator is saying, well, what city in California? It's a big state. And I go, I don't know. I can smell the water. And Ramona looks up at me, and I go, Ramona? And the sheriff's investigator says, Ramona, California? And I look at my dog and I look at him and I think, I'm so tired. It's 11 o'clock at night. I've worked all day and night and I've been here for hours with you. Yeah, it's Ramona, California, and I had no idea that Ramona, California existed, and I was right. My dog was right.
Wow. You know
Right.
what? I just know for a fact that this is going to be exciting for many people, many viewers and listeners around the world. For those that don't know, now you know. Of course, Nancy is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network site, gmap1.com. You can always stop by and click on the tab that simply is titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of her publication posted in that area. Want you to click on it, and of course, it will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publication. If in fact someone wanted to reach out, Nancy, and show their love, care, concern, and support, and they wanted to purchase a copy of it, what's the due process? How can it be purchased from our viewers and listeners today?
Currently, it is only at my own personal website, which is my name, and that link with the book takes you to it. There are other things there in the blogs that may be useful for people. I've created some music and guided meditations for, well, let's say, anxiety, lessening it. And in today's world, I think it's really needed. And some of the stories that show how, and I think this everybody can identify with, uh, why are we drawn to certain places, people, we don't know. And I did my DNA after an experience where I was drawn to Exum, Ethiopia, for a lot of reasons, writing a fiction. And my DNA 80,000 years ago is from Exum, Ethiopia. Now, how many people are drawn to some things and they don't know why?
Yeah.
And I believe ancestral is present. And if we call upon it, it's beautiful. So in the book, I try and I hope I see things that make people feel safer on this planet, more compassionate, kinder. And I think the people who listen to you are already there. I know that. All I'm giving them are some techniques that I found in necessity, you know? The mother invention is necessity. What do you do when you're stuck in a wheelchair and you're feeling hopeless for yourself? You reach out and serve others, you feel stronger. And so that's the key in my book, I think. I've
Mm.
worked with a lot of homicides and serial killers, and the more you stretch yourself and any gifts you have, the easier the next challenge gets,
Wow.
even if it's a tough challenge.
The life of a psychic detective. Once again, stop by GMAP Broadcast Network and reach out, seek the life of a psychic detective. Of course, the authors, Nancy Weber, and of course, you click on it. It will take you to the necessary location to get and learn more about the publication as well as the author. Now, if someone wanted to reach out and maybe speak to you on a more individual level, what's the process for them to do so? How can you be reached?
On my website, there's an email address, there's a contact form. They just tell me what they're looking for, general message, sessions, doesn't matter. And my assistant does my schedule, but I look at everything. And sometimes I can just quickly give answers to people who are desperate, and other times it's by schedule. I go by trust and intuition about what is needed and what's fair for everybody. So,
Looking back over where you've been and where you are, what would your response be to what's next for Reverend
oh,
Nancy Weber? What would your response be to that?
my response is I love giving back as much as I can. And I have been blessed for the last couple of decades with a change in my life that has made it easier for me in many ways. And so I can see that I'm on a journey that is fun for me in giving back. I have an animal book coming out in communication in a few months, and I intend to hopefully sell enough to gift a lot of animal shelters. This book, Psychic Detective, I for every book sold, I donate money a portion of the proceeds to Hope for Justice, which is about sex trafficking. So for me, the journey is okay, I've been helped along the road. We all have, I think, if we're lucky. We're helped by others. How do I help others? So I went back to an old thing, crocheting and knitting caps for the winter for people who don't have. My journey now, I think, is just how do I keep giving back better? That's it.
Wow. Well, I'm excited for you, and I want you to know that, of course, we are going to do everything that we possibly can to help disseminate this information around the world to people, viewers, and listeners, to ask them to show their love, care, concern, and support. Pick up a copy of this publication, share it with others. We definitely want to be in a position to invite you back, talk more in detail about what's yet to come. And of course, we want to show our gratitude and say thank you for, number one, thank you for being here with us today. Number two, thank you for accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. And number three, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your journey. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to move over and I'm going to allow you to simply share with our viewers and listeners what's on your heart. I'm moving over and I'm saying, Nancy Weber, the floor is yours.
Thank you. The journey I believe we all have is to heal our broken trust, to come back to innocence within us, regardless of circumstances, which is very challenging for many, to know that the love our Creator has for all life is within us. And getting to that through trial and tribulation and fires and you name it, I find that that is the journey for each and every one of us. And when we know that, I believe we can serve others to just demonstrate the world can be full of wonder, as I know it. It can also be full of scary, for sure.
Yeah,
And it's remembering where we all come from that matters.
that's right.
We are all, every species, connected. And I love that feeling. I wish it on everyone.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank
I really appreciate those words. I really appreciate you being here. And I really appreciate that you have listened to your spirit and allowed yourself to step up and step out on faith and disseminate this information to people around the world. You have our number. We're going to be reaching out and talking more with you. We want to maintain our presence in helping provide this information to people around the world as much and as often as we can. We want to do everything in our power, so don't you hesitate to use it. To pick up the phone and call, text, chat, tweet, whatever you do, reach out and connect with us. And we want you to know you never have to ask us twice. The answer will always be yes. Always be yes. And we appreciate you being here. Of course, if you have missed any of this conversation whatsoever, it will be posted on our YouTube channel. I'll send it over and share it on Facebook. I'm going to air it on our weekly Comcast cable program. That's going to go into over 1 million homes. So we know that there's going to be quite a few people that's going to receive it and in return reach out and show their support for what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what it all stands for. Looking forward to connecting with some of those radio stations around the world because we know that they can appreciate something like this as well. Nancy, we appreciate you being here. We'll reach out to you shortly and let you know where we go from here. Until then, we want you to continue to have an outstanding rest of your day, and we'll look forward to speaking with you again very, very soon. Okay?
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. Bless you. You are such a sweetheart.
I'm
Thank you.
gonna. I just, you know what? I missed that. What did you say? I missed that.
I said that you are a sweetheart. You have
Oh,
a very
oh,
sweet art.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to give you a call, Nancy. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to speaking with you soon. You have a wonderful day, okay?
So thank you.